Well, hello everybody. Joe Pannone here. It's 1 o'clock New York time, but we have people from all over. Great state of Texas. One gentleman from Ireland. Thank you for joining in. Staying out late. One gentleman from Melbourne. Thank you for waking up early. I hope this is going to be worth your time. We've had ConnectWise for over 4 years now, and it's doing very well. And again, thanks for your time today, and let's go through it. If there's any questions at any time, please type it in your chat. I'll get to it. If I don't get to it right away, I'll get to it towards the end. But this is open for everybody. Stop it at any time and chat. I appreciate it. So I'm Joe Pannone. I started Forza Technology Solutions in 1993. It says founded in 84 because we acquired another company and we bought an extra 7 years, but or it'll be a little more than that, 9 years, but the company's over 20 years old. We're here in New Haven, Connecticut, a little north of New York. We're an MSP. We also do application development. We're part of HTG. We've won a lot of great awards, and about 4.5 years ago, we created CW Dash. We created it internally just for us. But then I showed other people that HTG group inadvertently, and they wanted it, and they convinced me to go to market after beta testing it, and now we're over 4,000 seats, and it's really caught. So this is me right here, Joe Pannone, and of course, my last name in Italian means large loaf of bread. Come to find out, my ancestors, I think, were grainers. They actually had grain, but in Italy. But Pannone means large loaf of bread, so I often put that in my presentations. So I just want to conduct a very quick poll just to see if who has trialed CW Dash? Who's actually downloaded it and started a trial on it? Have any of you? Have none of you? Please vote. Very good. At least some of you are voting, which is fine. But at least I'll stop it from here. Many of you are voting. Okay. Well, none of you have trialed it. Well, those who have took the poll haven't trialed it. Okay, very good. It's good to know as we go along. So what we have here are the top 10 leadership issues, issues that we come across. If many of you are the actual business owner, or if you're a department head, or if you're a technician, no matter what you are, you want to get the most out of ConnectWise. We have the top 10 leadership issues, all the way from 10 all the way down to 1. How can I get techs to put in their time? Big burning question. How do I save time when preparing for employee reviews? How profitable are the agreements? How efficient are we when working tickets? And what's my overall ticket trend? Number 5, what's my technician utilization look like? 4, how active are the sales? Everybody in the sales team. 3, what's the age of all the open tickets? 2, what is our percent of tickets closed? And 1, how do I save time preparing for a quarterly business review? So I don't know how many of you run actually quarterly business review, or some of you I've talked to do semi-annual or do monthly. How do you prepare for it? When we talk about CW Dash, do you have, from ConnectWise, do you have dynamic, accurate, concise, real-time accessible information? It's one thing to just kind of get a report, print it, but obviously that once you print a report, the data is outdated. It just dies at that point. It's kind of a snapshot in time. Can you collect information to do reviews with clients or with technicians? Some of the challenges we have in business intelligence, people ask me, is ConnectWise a report writer or is it reports? And no, it's a business intelligence tool. The challenges that we have are, how do you take advantage of all that data that's in ConnectWise and translate it to information that you can use. I speak to many MSPs every week that trial CW Dash, and they'll open up CW Dash while they're trialing it, and they'll see something like open tickets by technician, and they'll look at it and they'll say, "Hey, this technician hasn't been here for 2 years. Why do they still have 10 tickets open?" So there's no easy way to show that in ConnectWise. So that's why it's a perfect business intelligence tool to show you all that information at a different view, at a different angle, to really get the most out of it. Do you have the right metrics for your technicians, for sales, for their hours worked, for your SLAs, for your ticket load, for your performance? Do you have all that information there? So what is CW Dash? It's a business intelligence tool that gets your data from ConnectWise and brings it to life, or just shows it to you in a different perspective, but it's real time. It wants to analyze all the ConnectWise data. The data's got to be non-intrusive, so it doesn't take down your server. We have partners that have over 200 members in their ConnectWise. Never has there been an issue of performance. It takes a read-only snapshot of the database and returns it. ConnectWise is an awesome, excellent tool. I wouldn't say it's expensive, but there's certainly an investment there. So are you getting the most out of it? And when we say gently touches ConnectWise, that we don't, is it getting your key performance indexes? Do you have key performance indexes? If you do, are they meeting them? If you don't, what should they be? We'll take a look at that. Again, anybody have any questions, you let me know. So the mission of CW Dash: increase partner profits by providing a clear overview of partner performance and client activity. Again, that data just hangs there in ConnectWise. It's kind of hides sometimes. I call it, it's almost orphaned sometimes. Can we actually, measure the performance and actually get that data out in a way that will make us make quick decisions? Help us. Number 10, how do I get techs to put in their time? So there's what we call a panel. Each dashboard we call a panel. Panel called Timesheet by Day. And this is my real data. It's from a while ago. But we have a big 60-inch monitor in our knock, or our bullpen, for my Australian friend and Irish friend. Bullpen is a baseball term that we use. It's an area in which the pitchers are in baseball. But here we say bullpen just where our technicians are. And I have a big 60-inch monitor there, and I have this panel up there all the time. And I remember when I put this up about 10 months ago, and, because we had an issue with technicians putting in their time. Days would go by, or they, wouldn't put in their time. And I remember keeping my ear out there, and I remember technicians saying to another technician, "Hey, you only put in 20 minutes yesterday. That's because I had to do the rest of your work." So when they can actually see the data all in front of them, it raises the bar of accountability. We use the term sometimes, and I've heard the term, gamifies the numbers. And that's really what's happening. Hello from Folsom, California, right where they made that great Johnny Cash album. So this is 10. How can I get techs to put in their time? It's called Timesheet by Day, and this is real time. As the technicians put in their time, this will populate. How great would it be to have that right in front of them all the time, read when it's at the data and it's real time? Number 9, how do I save time when preparing for employee review? I'm the CEO here, and I once had a technician say to me, I closed 1,000 tickets last month. I'd like a bonus. I don't know if any of you had that, heard that before, but so I knew I needed something to collect all that data very quickly. And we did the analysis, come to find out there's a lot of false positives. We use Kaseya here as our tool, as our RMM, and there were some false positives there. Still did a very good job, but it truly wasn't 1,000. With the tool, it's 3 steps. The first step is you pick the technician. Second step is you pick the date. a quarter, year, month, whatever it may be. And then the last steps, you click finish, post everything out into Excel. Open tickets by technician, how many hours they worked, etc. So within a minute, all this data gets poured out, exported right into Excel. How profitable are our agreements? We have all these agreements. I'm going to assume a lot of you are all you can eat, our flat rate. We moved to that model, years ago. We were time and material before that. I'm sure like a lot of you. Maybe some of you are still in time and material, which is fine. But again, you probably still have an agreement set up. So are we making money on our agreements? I have this right here is showing hours by agreement. We also have tickets by agreement. You'll notice that there's a little Excel button there at the bottom. I have a great partner in Tyler, Texas. I would say it's closer to Dallas than to Houston and San Antonio, where some of our friends are here today. And the manager, dispatcher, has to go to the management meeting. It took him 3 hours a week to create this. So now he just comes to this, opens this panel, chooses the date, clicks the Excel button, it gets outputted to Excel, he gets the report and brings it to the meeting. Saves him 3 hours a week because now he knows how many hours are in each agreement that they're working on. So again, how profitable are agreements? It's great that we have the agreements. Sometimes sales sells them at a little bit lower than they should be. And 6 months go by, you need to do an analysis. Are you making money? With all you can eat, you know that sometimes we don't make money on some months, right? There's a virus outbreak or server goes down or something happens that way. But hopefully most months we're making money. Again, you have any questions, let me know. I tend to ramble a little bit, people tell me. Slow me down or have any questions, you let me know. Number 7, how efficient are we when working with tickets? Do we know the average resolution time? Do we know if there's tickets closed the same day? Do we know if there's tickets that have not been responded to? Here we have very real-time information. We open this panel, you keep it open, and it shows real-time information. You can actually drill on these bars, and you can see Eric Davis's, it's 403 hours is his average. You click on there, and you find out, well, there's some big, long projects he's been working on, and it drills down and shows the actual tickets. So how efficient are we when working on our tickets? Number 6, what's my overall ticket trend, open versus closed? Here I have, over 13 months. The red is the closed tickets. The blue is the open. You'll notice I had a big spike in March. I mentioned we used Kaseya before. We used that, I forget that technology that does the software updates. It'll come to me. But it created a lot of extra tickets. It created a lot of extra tickets that weren't needed, that were false positives, until we kind of smoothed it out a little bit, and that's where the big spike was. But you can see where it kind of generalized here and kind of flattened out. September spiked up a little bit. I don't remember. This is last year's, obviously. I don't remember why that was. But again, you can see these trends. Open tickets and closed tickets by month. Okay, what's my technician utilization look like? It's very tough to measure utilization with all you can eat. I think everybody will agree. Back in the time and material days, it was very easy. You were billable 1 hour, you're marked as billable, and their utilization is 100%. 1 hour for 1 hour. But now with all you can eat, the technician may be working on 6 tickets at one time, right? They may be doing a defrag, and while that's happening, doing a virus scan, and while that's happening, doing something else. So it's measured very differently. So why not actually show how many tickets they closed and compare them over 2 periods? Why not show what the averages that they've closed them, how many they currently have open, what's their average time to close tickets? To actually track the utilization. All can be handled right in CW Dash. Number 4, the sales team. How active are they? As a CEO, I still do a lot of sales. And so I want to see opportunities uptick. I want to see a lot of opportunities up there, and we use sales activity points. We have 3 points, I think, set up, or 2 points set up for a call, 4 points for an appointment, 10 points for a proposal, I think 15 for an actual demonstration. It's all points set up that way. So each activity is based on a certain amount of points. So we also, what's not shown here, I have sales funnel that shows all the sales. So it's how active are the sales team. Again, you want to see real-time information. Depending on what you do in the company, if somebody's here and they're in charge of dispatch, I don't think they'll have any interest in sales. But the CEO or the sales manager would. I know I do. What percent of the tickets closed? Right here we have open tickets by day. 277 tickets are open 1 to 7 within a week. What percentages do we actually have that are closed there? Are we closing the right amount in the right amount of time? So right here, when we look at that, this is percentage closed. We say total open tickets, total closed tickets, and so we have 93.6% close. And you could tell this was here October of last year. Now these are the same open tickets here, and this is how many that were closed that were opened in the period. So of these tickets that were actually opened in October, how many were closed? And it's a little lower, it's 89%. You notice that these are hyperlinks here. You can click on those and actually drill down to the ticket themselves to see which ones it's referring to. And number 1, how do you save time preparing for a QBR? So, to get this data, what we needed to see for a quarterly business review would take us half day. So now we set this up. First step, ask for the client name. Second step, ask for a date range. Again, I have a quarter here, but you could change it to a week, a month, ad hoc, any date you'd like. And the third step is the summary. I want all these. I just click finish, and it outputs it to Excel. Takes, maybe 10 to 15 seconds. Outputs everything there. When you see it, you'll be amazed. I think you'll be amazed because, A, you can't believe you got this data out of ConnectWise so quickly, but you may not be amazed by some of the results. Again, you may have thought you worked a lot of hours for a particular client and you haven't, or the opposite. You were kind of budgeting all you can eat that you would spend 10 or 15 hours, and it looks like you're spending 50 or 60 hours. So obviously something needs to be done there. But again, to get that data out of ConnectWise is very, very difficult. And here we have a way of doing it very quickly. And I have to say that, I mentioned before, we have over 4,000 seats. This was actually requested by a partner. I've already had, last week, we had the second users group webinar where the current active users want to get together once a quarter, talk about new features they want. And I love the ideas because, I'll be candid with you here. I'm an MSP, so when I hear these things, I think, well, I could use that too. So we put them right in the roadmap. We put them in. We've got a bunch of partners that are beta testers. They test it out. Right now we're beta testing some really great panels that we have, and it's a great process. So I've got some just bonus sales ideas here for you. I think you'll like them. Number 1, this is what my monitor looks like in my knock or my bullpen. Right? I have open tickets by status, by service board, by company, by technician. I have ticket activity, which shows how many were open today and closed today, this week, this month. Actually, this little donkey here represents the person with the oldest ticket. So what happens is my VP of sales comes in with a prospect, brings him here to the office, shows him our knock, and shows the technicians there working. He instructs the prospect to put in an email on his phone at help@forza.com. Now that's our support line. So he goes in his phone, he or she goes in his phone, enters an email at help@forza.com. Within moments, we see it populate up on the panels here. Technician sees it, raises his hand, says, I got this ticket, saying to me on it. Now the prospect sees the process in which he or she or his or her staff communicates to us. What happens when they send an email to help@forza.com? Is it just lost in the wind and hopefully somebody gets to it? He or she actually sees, it gets put up on this big monitor that's real time, that shows all the information. Technician sees it, grabs it, and starts working on it. And if a call needs to be made, it happens. You need to take over a workstation, they do it. So you can actually use this also as a sales process, as a sales idea. We do it all the time. Sales idea number 2, monthly reports. For our ACE, for all-you-can-eat clients, there's some months where we don't see them, right? We're working here in the office. We're knocking out tickets. Some of them want to see reports. What am I paying this $5,000 a month for, whatever it may be? So there's some clients where I actually do that client summary that I showed you. I actually do that, get the Excel sheet, send it to them once a month, so they actually can have some visibility. Oh, well, they work 38 hours and not. Now, granted, when it gets to an Excel, some months look better than others, and you may have to do some, let's say, creative work there. But the idea is you can get that information and get it to them so they can have some kind of visibility on what it is they're paying for. I haven't had any questions yet. I hope this is helpful for everyone. Thanks again for coming. The last sales idea I have, and obviously this won't work for well, perhaps it will, for our international friends, but the local FBI here in Connecticut, I'm in Connecticut, they're mandated by the government to conduct 8 to 15 cybercrime seminars a year. They have to. They get budget and they have to do it. And they need somebody to talk about it. So contact your local FBI office. See if you could put on a demonstration. They would love to do it. They'll buy everything. They'll the invites. They'll get the room. And when the press comes, they won't talk to the FBI. Won't talk. They can't. They'll just talk to you. So it's an incredible idea. Latch onto it. Hopefully you can use it. Maybe our friends internationally have an equivalent there that they can use. But it's incredible, but it works. So what's on our roadmap? What's coming? Right now in our beta, we have SLA performance panels. Are you getting, what's your average SLA? Are you completing them on time? Some of you may have your SLA set up where, you have to give 5% back or you don't give anything back. You just want to know how it's performing. We have something called My Panel, where a technician actually has their own panel, where it shows just how many tickets they have open, how many tickets they have for their by status. Are there any tickets with done yet? We use that status done yet here in our office when our service manager or dispatch gets, let's say confused. I won't say upset, but gets confused as to whether a ticket is done yet because the technician is a bit ambiguous. So it's just for that technician, shows what activities are due that day, etc. And we also have tickets by configuration. So we have different configurations for workstations and servers. What's your average ticket per servers for a particular client or for workstations? Some testimonials here. Again, we've got over 4,000 seats. I won't go through all these, but some really great testimonials. Some more here. So all of you mentioned that you have not trialed CW Dash. It's a free trial. Just go to cw-dash.com, click on Try It. If you're on premise, an email will be sent back with a little client application. Install it. This is a quick wizard that connects to your ConnectWise, and you're up and running. I'll set up an appointment to have a talk with you, kind of walk you through it a little bit. But I encourage you to do it. It's free. For our cloud-based partners, it's the same thing. Go to cw-dash.com, click Try It, fill out the little form, click Submit. You'll get an email back showing you how to go there and how to log in, and you can trial it. The trial lasts for 15 days, completely free, and no strings attached. So for today's offer, what we're doing is we're going to offer the second month free. We don't do the first month free because we just want to check the credit card, make sure it's okay, and then we do the second month free with this offer. There's the promo code right there. The on-premise price is $119 a month. The cloud is $99. Now this includes all users. It includes maintenance and includes support. It's not $119 per user. That's the out of the door price. and the cloud is 99. I went to that rather quickly. Does anybody have any questions? Would you like me to talk about anything else, go over any other point? How does your product differ with ConnectSmart? I know those guys at ConnectSmart very well. I like them a lot. ConnectSmart ConnectSmart works with other products as well. So the fundamentals of ConnectSmart are just a little bit different. They work with, I'm not even sure, I think QuickBooks and some other things. So ours specifically works with ConnectWise only because we built it only for ourselves at the beginning and we're convinced to bring it to market. So I would say about 50%, close to 50% of our entire base uses ConnectSmart as well. It's just built a little differently and it has some different metrics, but it's a similar tool. I hope I answered your question, John. How about project stats like utilization, effective bill rates, real-time historical averages? So, yeah, we have certainly utilization, and for projects, what we have is that each one of those panels where you saw the information, you could choose which service boards, one or many service boards you want, and we include the projects as a service board. So if you just want to just work on projects, just choose that board, that's fine, it'll work that way. And we have a lot of real-time historical averages. Now, what it doesn't have is effective bill rates. There are no financials in it. And the reason why is because there's no logon. Right when you get in, you're able to see all the information, tickets, these kinds of things, but no financial information. That is on our roadmap. What we'll have to do there is provide a login so only those people who have that login can see the financials. But it has everything else as well. Stephen gave a question mark. I don't know what you mean. Hopefully I answered your question. John, thanks, you did. Does your sales funnel work like the rolling calendar basis? Yeah, I know that sales funnel. ConnectWise is those. It works very similarly, yes. Very similarly, yes. Please go and trial the software. When you're running a demo again, I'd like our CFO to sit in. Sure, I'm going to record this, and it'll be up on our YouTube. Go to youtube.com/CW-. I'm recording it now. Also, it'll be up in the video section of our website. If you go to www.cw-.com, click on videos, it'll be there by the end of the day. So, whoever missed this, I'll send an email out and go in and take a look. I went about 30 minutes. Hopefully I answered your questions. I'll stay on. I think I said it was for 45 minutes. I'll certainly stay on and answer any other questions. But please go trial it. When you trial it, you'll get an email back. Like I said, I'll give you exact instructions on how to work. Use the promo here, get your second month free, and I hope you do. Catherine, but not usually. I recall when you tried to run a report, we experienced a lot of lag reporting generator. Oh, well, you use CW- and not. Oh, I don't remember. The only issue you mentioned that there was a lag on running a report. Sometimes, if you have Excel open already and you go to output it again, there is a lag. So our advice there is just to close Excel and then run it and then show. But I think you mean when you're running a report, you mean a dashboard. There hasn't been any lag for quite a while. Really. Take another look, or maybe you don't have the latest version. If you email sales@cw-.com, could certainly get you the newest version. Our newest version just came out in July. We generally put out at least 2 to 3 times a year. And I'll tell you something else confidentially is that the price will probably go up at IT Nation or right after IT Nation. Those who get in now will be grandfathered in. They won't get the increase. Mr. Hughes from Ireland, great. Cool, great presentation, guys. I'm off for a Guinness. Oh, great. I wish I could join you. Fantastic. Cheers. Have you heard of any other cloud partners experience? Oh, it was a cloud, Catherine. Yeah. Okay, well, that makes sense now, the lag with reports. I apologize. Yeah. API has gotten a lot better. Every once in a while, the API gets restarted. There's definitely some issues with the cloud. I mean, if there's a lot of traffic, you may have to wait 5-10 seconds to get the panel up. How it works is our web service sends a request to ConnectWise's API application program interface. It waits for a response. When it gets a response, it interprets it and puts it in a nice dashboard for you. There are some times where it takes a while for that to get returned. So the cloud, there's definitely some, but I would imagine it's the same lag that you experience when using ConnectWise normally, if you're a cloud user. I mean, every once in a while, it may take a while for a ticket to come back or to populate. So I would think it's very similar. God, thanks for probably running. Oh, yeah, very, very true. I'll be at IT Nation. Yeah, I'm there every year. We won't put up a booth. ConnectWise sells CW Dash directly for the same price, and we do. And also a group out of California, Chartech, does as well. 3 of us. We wrote it, we created it, so we support it. So if you have an issue and it goes to ConnectWise, it comes to us. Same thing with Chartech. But so since ConnectWise has a partnership with us, they'll kind of promote it there at IT Nation, but I won't put up a booth. By the way, there's not many of us here. I mean, to put up a booth at IT Nation is not inexpensive. It's very expensive, and we won't be putting up a booth this year. But you can look for me if you want. Joe Pannone. I'm around there, and I'll most likely have a drink in my hand. Any other questions? Excellent. Thanks, Stephen. Yeah, I hope to see you there. It's going to be a good time there in Orlando. I'm part of HTG, which is a great peer group. I don't know if any of you have any interest or are in HTG, but it's a wonderful peer group. We meet once a quarter. We do face-to-face meetings, only IT professionals, and we share best practices and things we do well and things we don't do well. It's very good. And our HTG meetings are 2 days before IT Nation. So, I usually go a couple days early, get in a couple rounds of golf with some of my buddies, and go to HTG and then stay for IT Nation. We play in the big IT Nation golf tournament as well. Well, great, everybody. Thanks so much for your time. Again, this is being recorded. I'll put it up on our YouTube channel. I encourage everybody to go trial it. CW-.com, and then try it. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Thanks, John. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate your time. Well, this afternoon for me. Hope it was worth it. Well, I'm going to go another minute and then sign off. Everybody's starting to sign off now. Type a quick message. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Please trial CW Dash. Excellent, everybody. Have a great day. Cheers.